going on, America? And welcome to the newest episode of the Dear America podcast. It's still quarantine. I don't really know what to say at this point.
Leave.
It is, I'm starting to get the itch. I really am. I'm really starting to, I tweeted under the president's tweet the other day. He made a tweet that, you know, depending on who you are and how you interpret things, can be interpreted a bunch of different ways. But this is what he said. He said in the tweet, he said, governors, get your state's testing programs and apparatuses perfected. Be ready. Big things are happening. No excuses. The federal government is there to help. We are testing more than any country in the world. Also, gear up with face mask. So I responded with, open this thing back up, Mr. President. And apparently there's a lot of people that disagree with that. And so I think he should. Let's go ahead and start it up right now. I think May 1st, I think we need to get back to work. Greg Abbott, governor in Texas, has already said that this week he's going to come out with his rollout plan to get the Texas economy back up and rolling. I agree, man. We can't do this. We can't. Right. We cannot keep doing this. You remove everything. You remove all the fear. You remove all this stuff. We cannot stay at home. People can't just not work. The economy can't not roll. It cannot do it. Unfortunately, you don't really have that option at the end of the day. You don't have the option to, well, we're all just going to hermit in our houses and we're never going to go back to work again. And then the government's just going to pay our bills for us.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see why we can't go back and everyone be required to wear a mask. So if you have it, you keep it to yourself.
Yeah. I mean, there's two mindsets. There's the one mindset of everybody needs to stay at home. This thing's going to kill us all. And the other one is, like us, let's get back to work. But every situation's different. So some small businesses don't have a whole bunch of people in their office or whatever, or they make something that they don't come into contact with people. So it's like case by case. Let's at least get some people back to work.
But there's only two possibilities, right? Mm-hmm. There's one, that this is the end-all, be-all virus and it's going to wipe us all out, which you've all seen The Walking Dead. None of this crap matters anyway. The people that are going to live are going to live. You're going to walk around and you're going to fight zombies for the rest of your days until one of them takes you out. Or Negan comes and hits you with a bat. Anyway. Maggie. Or this is a virus just like all the other viruses that we have to deal with every single year. And you know what? And I'll give it to them. The coronavirus may be something that we have to deal with for the rest of our lives. Just like the flu, just like any other thing that we eventually come up with vaccinations for. The flu mutates every year.
Right.
So just because we have a vaccine for the flu really doesn't mean a crap.
Are we going to do this again for the flu?
And the flu. The flu is one of those things that I've never believed the flu crap anyway. I had to take a flu shot every single year I was in the Army, and I got the flu every single year since I've been out.
He's an anti-vaxxer.
No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just an anti-flu shot. Since I've been out for 3 years, I have not gotten the flu shot, and I have not gotten the flu all 3 years. Explain that to me. Yeah. Explain it to me.
They were experimenting with you in the
military. I'm being for real.
Who knows what they were shooting up your nose?
But okay. Anyway, back to the point. It can't be this way. But people are going to get sick. No, duh. People get sick all the time. But we have to go back to work. I was listening to Brian Kilmeade actually said something just that I hadn't even thought about. You know, people were talking about football. Because every other sport is canceled. Oh, well, we talked about last episode that the MLB is trying to figure out how to at least get it on the TV for people to watch.
Bubble ball.
But football, people are like, oh, we just need to cancel college football.
That's a joke.
No, but what I'm serious is people don't realize what that means. If you cancel the college football season, what you don't realize is that college football pays for 80+% of everything that university has to do, to include setting academic prices, baseball, soccer, men's, women's, swimming, golf, everything that university does. 80% of it is paid for by the football program.
That's right.
So you think college tuition is expensive now? Cancel football at the start of the season and then watch what happens.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to recoup that money somehow. These have economic disasters attached to them. People just aren't thinking about, man. And are people going to get sick? Probably people are going to get sick. Still to this day, 80+% of people that get it have no more
symptoms.
than just like a cold.
Yeah. Or no symptoms at all.
Or no symptoms at all.
And why shouldn't they be able to go back to work? Like if you prove that you have a resistance to it with the antibody testing that they're doing, you can't really get it. Or when you do get it, it doesn't affect you at all. Like you should be allowed to go back to work.
Well, you see a lot of these cases and death projection charts, and they're like, oh my God, the U.S. is surpassed everyone for the most deaths, blah, 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 blah. And so you see this chart in the U.S. spike going up above everybody else. But then somebody just the other day readjusted it based off population.
Right.
And the U.S. is barely even registering in the chart, except for China, because China's a bunch of communist liars. And they probably have had hundreds of thousands of deaths. But they're horrible people. I personally think the world would be better off without China, but that's just me.
Government.
Yeah,
China.
Alyssa, I'm not talking about the moms and their babies of China when I say that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the decision makers of China, man.
Yeah.
Just eliminate the whole group of them. I'm sorry. Okay. It's just the way it is. All right. Well, we should give these people a chance. No, they've had ample opportunity. When people show you who they are, believe them, and those people just don't need to be here. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. I actually have a lot of random things, which I'm pretty proud of myself for.
Nice.
But before we do that, let's get into a sponsor. All right, We the People holsters. Friends, stop wasting money on overpriced holsters. Starting at just $37, We the People holsters are custom designed to fit your firearm perfectly and made right here in the U.S. They have thousands of options to choose from, both inside and outside the waistband. You can get the Declaration of Independence, you can get the Constitution, you can get Blue Lives Matter, or you can get my face. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but why not have Graham on your hip at all times? Their proprietary clip design allows for you to easily adjust both the cant and right of your holster so that it will fit comfortably and securely at all times. Go to wethepeopleholsters.com/GRAHAM and get yours today. Every holster ships free and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Get an additional $10 off with the offer code GRAHAM. Satisfaction guaranteed, and if it's not the perfect fit, send it back for a total refund. That's wethepeopleholsters.com/Graham. wethepeopleholsters.com, offer code Graham.
My hair salon just canceled my appointment this week.
Did you really expect that? Really?
I was just sad. I'm so sad.
We're all sitting here looking like freaking Survivor Series at this point, and you're worried about it's people like you.
I wouldn't want people touching my hair.
Yeah.
I'd make a sacrifice. I'd wear a mask. She can wear a mask. It is worth it.
Let's talk about businesses that are not taking this lying down. All right, let's see here. Inside the strip clubs of Instagram, strip clubs are going digital on Instagram.
Stop.
To mitigate this financial crisis that they have now found themselves in.
How are the strippers going to be paid? Like salary or by
They get
hour
on there
now?
and they do a little bit of a live show, and then they get money.
They already have this. It's called webcam something. I've never heard of it
that's
before. But
I'm just
But
saying.
will PayPal, like will they send it through PayPal?
yeah. And they'll do more the more money you give them.
Just looking out for 'em.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got kids listening, now's the time to go away. I'm reading the article. Okay. All right. Magic City, a strip club in Atlanta. What's up,
course, Atlanta.
ATL? Has started offering, are you ready for this? Virtual lap dances. Performances on Instagram stories. What?
Nice.
What is a virtual lap dance?
I guess they have a chair. Never mind. I don't want to talk about this here.
I do. I want to know what that means.
They just dance.
I mean, I guess on a chair.
But okay, so why don't they just call it? Have been offering like dance step
Because
sessions.
lap dance sounds
That
better.
is, yeah, that is what it is. They're just tricking these old men.
Virtual lap dance.
Do you have to pay to see it though? Like, how are they going to make money?
Well, yeah, you got to pay.
But she said on a story.
Tory Lanez, a rapper, also recently began hosting dance nights for his 7.5 million followers, calling it quarantine radio. Mr. Leroy's events have attracted a unique and fervent fandom.
Fervent.
That's what it said.
Well, you just have them pay, and once they pay, you accept their friend request.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, so that's funny. Americans are buying. Oh, here you go, Alyssa. Americans. So we started off with panic buying toilet paper. Started off with panic buying hand sanitizer. Well, now Americans are panic buying hair color and grooming supplies. Walmart CEO says.
That's hilarious.
Walmart has also said that Americans bought enough toilet paper in 5 days for every American citizen to have one roll.
Wow. Well, you know what? It was a fight to the death for me, but I finally found 4 rolls.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Ooh, okay. Talk about slow news day. Oh, first of all, actually, here we go. This is a very important health announcement. All right. This comes to us from the Daily Star. Coronavirus, experts say, could be spreading across the Grove.
The Grove?
The Grove. Coronavirus could be spreading across the globe through
Bats.
farts.
Oh, stop.
That's what it says. There's a
gross.
picture of a man holding his
The Daily Star.
his booty. Claim doctors. So be careful who you allow to flatulate near you.
Back what you were just saying a second ago, I wanted to comment about the beauty products and everything.
Oh, yes.
Like, this is a good time for companies to realize what not to make anymore. You know, if you go to the grocery store,
Oh, that's true. And there's stuff
they have
left
that
over.
olive stuffed bologna, and they're just packed full, and nobody's got them. It's
I
like,
think
maybe we
it's-
should stop making that.
That's a good idea. That's a good call.
I think it's a great time for relationships. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're dating someone right now is the perfect time for you to really see what they look like.
That's true.
Because let's just face it, ladies, a lot of you walk around not looking the way you normally look. Us dudes don't really have a choice.
Right.
All right.
P.S. Whoever knows how to do that, let me know, because I would love to know how to completely change my face.
My wife is apocalypse approved.
She's AA.
All I'm saying is, man, there's a lot of people out there that when they post they put these Instagram models or something and they post makeup free Tuesday or something like that. You go, ha!
Please let it be Wednesday.
Hey, please, God, go to Wednesday. Go to Wednesday now. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not.
This isn't funny.
But you put false advertisement out there is what you're doing.
Makeup is crazy.
You're
man.
selling a product that's not really you. Anyway, so this is a great time, ladies and gentlemen, to see what you really got. Ladies, if you want to know what your man's going to look like when he's 50 or 60, take a look at him about week 4 of quarantine now, and let's it's going to add about 30, 40 pounds to that, and then you're going to get pretty close. So yeah. Anyway, good time for relationships. New York Post is reporting that Americans are dealing with working from home their own way. Americans are booze sales are skyrocketing as
sir.
Americans are boozing it up while working from home. And it's so funny because just the other day I showed Jake, a good friend of mine, Justin, sent me from working from home. I won't say his last name in case his work is listening. Sent him from working at home, and he had a beer in his hand with his computer. And I'm like, well, there you go, buddy. Why not?
And they're realizing, like, I can still do this.
Yeah. Hey.
Responsibly drink a beer and still get my job done.
I'm sure there's a lot who aren't responsibly doing that, though.
Well, they were probably going to lose their job for some
Fair
reason
enough,
anyways.
Fair enough.
Right underneath that, the New York Post posts something else. This one isn't like a, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. It's more like a, what the crap what was somebody thinking? It's breaking news. New York Post verified account publishes Tom Brady kisses wife Giselle in Easter family photo.
Gross.
Oh, no.
Cootie
No
alert.
PDA.
How dare you?
Exactly. 6 feet minimum, bro. What are you
That's
doing?
so stupid because they live together.
Why would they
God.
post that? Yeah, you're right.
Well, I know. That's why I screenshot
This
it.
is what has happened with Corona. There is nothing to report.
Everyone's so bored, man. Tom Brady dared to kiss his wife
Those
in an
people are
Instagram
just jealous.
photo.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
On
it is.
either side
Yeah, I
of
was going to
that.
say on either because they're beautiful people.
Let's see.
I'd kiss them both.
I'd kiss them both. All right. For those of you who are listening, you're going to miss the full effects of this, but this is just another reason to go to YouTube and check out the video. That's right. Because we're going to put up a video of this majestic man right here to my right, your left. So this one redneck, and this is why I love redneck people, man. I'm from Mississippi, and I hate it. Nothing irks me more. I don't get in like bantering comment battles with people a lot, except when people go, how dare you call them rednecks? I live in Mississippi and Alabama, and I'll have you know, sir, they're the best people. I know. I'm from Mississippi, you dolts. Pay attention. I am allowed to call Southerners rednecks.
that.
I am
say
allowed.
country.
No, I'm allowed
I
to
like
say
to say
that.
country.
I'm allowed to say. I'm born and raised in Mississippi. I'm allowed to call Southern people rednecks, hillbillies, white trash, whatever mind you. I'm allowed to say those things.
It's a badge of honor for a
It's
lot
a
of
badge
people.
of honor, and a lot of people call me those things. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, this redneck genius decided to take the 6-foot rule into his own hands, and he took a bunch of what's those noodles, pool noodles, and he constructed
I love it.
his own head apparatus.
His garments.
That made it to where nobody could get to him within 6 feet on either side,
That's pretty smart.
which was genius.
Speaking of Mississippi, some bad tornadoes came through last night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about my Aunt Martha. I'll give her a shout out because her house is pretty much totaled. And anyway,
Went through a lot of places.
Yeah.
Texas, Louisiana.
It was blown
South
away.
Carolina.
It was
Yeah.
blown away. It was like Twister,
Georgia.
man.
Yeah.
They were in there, and then they went out, and there was no house.
It's right there. At least 19 killed now across the
so
South.
we're definitely thinking of y'all. I slept right
That's
through it when it came through here.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have slept through it completely if Anna Grace hadn't had to pee in the middle of the night. So
I'm a light sleeper. So when those alarms go off,
Oh, see,
boom,
no.
I'm
We
out.
didn't hear
I
our
don't even
alarms.
think they have alarms here.
And no, they do. I listened for them because I woke up at 3.
Well, the one on your phone.
No,
Oh,
mine
no,
didn't
I
go
got
off.
to do not disturb on mine.
And when it says tornado warning right above your apartment, basically, I'm like, oh, I should probably
I woke
check
up to
this out.
18 messages from my parents who were in the hall, my sister, my other sister in Oregon at 3 a.m. like checking, are you up? And I wrote this morning, nope.
Okay,
it was
all
a
right.
serious.
Still here.
It was serious.
Jake, okay, for you especially, because you live downtown Greenville, all right? And I'm asking a serious question because, I mean, as far as I know, I've never really seen it that much. Even when tornadoes hit in Columbus, when we were there, most of the time where it touched down was the outer skirts of like the
Usually
actual
jump the
cities.
cities. Yeah.
When's
Oh,
the last
man.
time you heard like a major tornado going right through the heart of like a downtown city?
Columbus, I mean, it was 2 blocks from my apartment. We were running
but it
across the
still
street.
missed-
But that's what I no.
it missed the main strip. yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Look, it does the outskirts, like where there's grass
well, a lot
and
of
then
that
a house.
is
and
from the
then-
heat of the city.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
so
talking
usually,
about.
But we're not downtown. We are on the outskirts.
Oh, okay. See, if I was
Yeah.
living downtown, I'd never wake up for anything. I'd just be like, man,
Yeah.
if it comes right through the heart of downtown, it was just meant to be.
And
at
we
that
have
point.
2 windows that are like 50 feet tall that, man,
I just
fill
love
the apartment.
I love storms. They just don't. I
I
get
don't love
scared.
storms
I
now.
love them.
I like
if,
some rain.
if anyone's listening and they are tornado chasers, it's a bucket list of mine. So you can just let us know, and
Yeah.
I want to come with you.
Well, I was traumatized because I grew up in Missouri. In 2011, there was the Joplin tornado that just completely tore up, killed a couple hundred people. It was 2 hours from my hometown.
Well, we've been.
So I've
through
never been a big fan.
But we've been through several in our town. It hits almost every year real bad. But
Oh yeah,
they just,
because
I'm
we're
still-
from Mississippi,
But I'm still
and
fascinated
we're allowed
by
to
them.
say
Like,
those
I
kind of
do.
things.
My dad too. We just love
I
storms.
drove
All
under
kinds
one.
I
of
hate the
tornadoes.
damage.
Well,
I hate-
cool
but I just-
story. There was a lightning storm when I was growing up. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and we had a big piece of property and hay bales and everything, and lightning struck one of the hay bales and started going down the line of hay bales. My grandpa gets out there on a forklift, picks up the flaming hay bale and drives it and dumps it into the pond. There's lightning going on, flaming hay bale, and he's like, I ain't letting this thing.
My favorite story of my daddy, because we grew up on a farm too, is he was out the front door or the back door, and we could literally see the tornado, and Mom's yelling at him. We must have been like 8. I must have been like 8 years old. And all I remember is Daddy standing with his arms wide open and, Ronnie, get in here. My mama yelling, and Daddy's famous words we still quote today is, well, if something's going to kill me.
What was it?
If something's going to kill me, I want to see it first. And he did. He stood out there. So then me and, we were all running out like, we want to see it too. And we did go in, and it literally jumped our house, and we could see it
I
leaving,
believe I can fly.
Yeah, basically.
See, man, I've got friends from living in Mississippi. Because
yeah, and don't do what we did. That's not
where
safe.
That's where I'm from, Mississippi. So I have some redneck friends in Mississippi that have they've been underneath their kitchen table, and they hear like a loud train, and then all of a sudden it's daylight, and the only thing left of the house is them underneath that kitchen table.
Yeah,
like it
crazy,
ripped
man.
the whole house up except for them in the kitchen table. Now, you want to talk about being in church the next day, buddy, after that. All right.
Crazy things.
So, crazy weather. Florida is concerned, obviously, because one of the worst nightmares for Florida right now would be a hurricane. And so, obviously, the weather's heating up. We're supposed to get ready for hurricane season. Anyway, so Florida is also in the news because Ron DeSantis is actually considering reopening schools in Florida.
Really? He would be the first one.
And so, I mean, I doubt it happens, man. We're getting close to May, but either way.
Kids aren't really getting affected
Kids
by
are
this.
immune, apparently.
Yeah.
Ron
Send them
DeSantis
back.
says that they are immune to this.
DeSantis. Right?
DeSantis?
Yeah.
I like DeSantos.
DeSantos.
No, DeSantos sounds like a drug cartel leader.
I'm sure he'd like to go by
Mr.
that.
DeSantos. I can't do I
thought it was pretty good.
Cartel. Anyway, all right. So there's a lot, man. I've got a lot of things to talk about, but the big news right now is Joe Biden's sex assault scandal. But we'll get into that after a word from our sponsors. All right. Normally, when we talk about Freedom Project Academy, it's because parents want to protect their children from left-wing propaganda and indoctrination. Now, with school districts closing down due to the spread of coronavirus, you have a new reason to consider an accredited online education from Freedom Project Academy. From the comfort, convenience, and safety of your home, your children can receive an accredited classical online education built on Judeo-Christian values from students K through 12. This is a complete interactive educational experience where students attend live classes with students across the country. Most importantly, they teach students how to think, not what to think. Go to freedomforschool.com. That's freedomforschool.com and request your free information packet today. Enrollment had just begun when the coronavirus hit, so classes are filling up faster than normal. Parents are concerned for the safety of their children. This is a great opportunity to enhance their education and keep them safe at the same time. Again, that's freedomforschool.com, freedomforschool.com. All right, so to add to the bad news that is coronavirus, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break this heartbreaking news, but the Friends reunion on HBO Max has been postponed. It has been.
No, God, please, no, no.
All right. So on another note, New York Post is reporting that a teen commits suicide, likely over stress from coronavirus lockdown. Isn't that kind of politicizing a teen's suicide? How do you know? Let me read before I get too far into this. Let me make sure that a note wasn't left or something.
Yeah, it's like similar to padding the stats, like the skydiver parachute didn't open and he died of coronavirus. Like this kid committed suicide, probably coronavirus.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other thing is it obviously is causing a lot of people severe anxiety. So obviously there was already some Probably, obviously, underlying mental disorder.
Yeah,
which may have increased.
I don't see anything.
Her anxiety.
I don't see anything about a note left talking about this kind of stuff. Everything they're saying here is that this person was a promising student athlete playing softball on travel teams as a catcher and second baseman sports. Her former coaches wrote a Facebook group encouraging other parents to communicate with their children about the pandemic in the wake of Smith's death. Now, I do agree with that. Yeah. What I don't agree with is the New York Post saying teen commits suicide likely over stress from coronavirus lockdown. That's quite a jump there. That's quite a, an assumption.
The suicide hotline is up 300%. There's a lot of people staying at home.
And I get that.
Depressed.
Yeah, I get that people that struggle with depression, this is horrible for them. I understand.
Right.
But to just, I don't know, man, that seems like a big jump.
And who are you blaming?
Suicide is a major issue, man. It's the 10th leading cause of death in America, but it was the 10th leading cause of death before the coronavirus.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem I have.
If Trump would have acted sooner.
You're using the tragic taking of a life of a young woman to push coronavirus. That's just disgusting things that I saw.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, Spike Lee opened his mouth and majestic words came out. Let me see if I can find the full quote. All right, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right. Here we go. Before Corona, after Corona. This is changing everything, Lee said. But you know why? The reason? I read an article about it. How pollution is clearing up. Skies are clear. Animals are coming out. I mean, the earth was angry at us.
Oh, that's why.
That's why we got the coronavirus.
Why are you the way that you are?
I do
Why
know.
are you the way that you are?
What did I read? Coyotes, raccoons, they're appreciating more time on the streets. So sure, I guess animals are coming out.
Man, people just are so stupid.
We were killing this planet, he continued.
Oh, he's going on. Okay.
And this time that everything was shut down, the earth has come alive again.
Has it though?
Water is clear.
So that's
before?
our alternative. So we just all stay at home. The economy crashes. We all die of starvation. But hey, at least the deer came out.
Oh my God. Hey man, look, I'm sorry. I ain't never believed this whole Mother Earth crap. Just shut up. No, the earth is not angry. The earth is not smiting us. Okay. China, more likely than not, made this in a lab. What does that have to do with the earth being mad at us over pollution? Or even if it was truly an accident due to a wet market, what does that have to do with the earth being mad at us over pollution?
Or we just talked about suicide. It's like, well, we got to stay at home. The earth's a little cleaner, but suicide's up 300%. What do you want?
At least the earth's clean.
Yeah, at least And
America's doing really good as far as pollution goes. And they would have you believe we aren't.
We could fix everything, and 95% of the problem will still be there because of China, Brazil.
China's a terrible place. I said it earlier.
They're not going to do anything to change what they're doing. So let's ruin our economy and it'll still be bad.
So we have not seen this yet, but apparently last night the bonus episode of Tiger King came out.
Oh, really?
We missed it?
And there's already exclusives all over the internet about it.
Oh, no.
So apparently this episode, obviously, I don't know if Joe Exotic's even in it at all. It's everyone else from what I hear.
Carol Baskin.
He may be in it, but either way, Tiger King's Joe Exotic had 2 bodies of protesters buried at his zoo, indulged in bestiality, and used stuffed animals as sex toys, claims new zoo owner Jeff Lowe, who says Netflix only showed 1% of his dirty deeds and crimes.
Oh.
But
in Jeff Lowe, I'm pretty sure he's
Carol Baskin's first husband.
Who?
Jeff Lowe.
No, he's
Conspiracy.
not.
I showed you that picture. He is Carol Baskin's first husband.
Sure looks a lot like
But he's a criminal too. Why are we going to trust him? I want to see the bodies.
He took tigers to Las Vegas and had hookers and blow. He's
quality.
He's quality dude.
He's someone you want to take home to mama for sure.
He's a great guy for sure. Anyway.
Dresses like a Harley rider.
Well, we know what we're going to watch tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Catch up.
Still got to watch Westworld too. And y'all started Ozark.
We did start Ozark.
Not
It was.
bad.
It was.
We started Ozark.
Yeah, there are some scenes that were a little much.
There are a couple scenes I forgot to tell you guys.
You need to fast forward a little bit, but other than that,
it's not a family friendly show.
Who is the guy, the main character?
Jason Bateman?
I do like him a lot.
Yeah, his character's really cool.
I do like him.
All right. So real quick before we get into Joe Biden, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, or is it Whitmer?
Yeah, I don't care.
Whitmer, who cares? Is coming under fire for an expansive new order to lock down state residents during the coronavirus, forbidding anyone from buying seeds or plants and banning gatherings of any size. The Democratic governor's extension of Michigan's stay-at-home order also outlaws residents from traveling between residences.
Yeah.
Oh, like I couldn't visit mom and dad or plant a flower?
Correct.
Or plant our peppers or
you
tomatoes?
You can't do anything.
Doesn't that sound counter
tyrannical? Yeah, it does.
Well, I mean, even like
Trump,
planting flower, like planting food.
All right. So let's talk Joe Biden.
Oh no,
Joe Biden. All right, now.
Did you see the Joe Biden? I'm sorry, the Joe Biden meme that was so bad. But it was like "Merry Christmas" on Easter.
From my family to yours, Merry Christmas.
I couldn't help but giggle.
Alyssa's so cute because she cares about people's feelings so much that she calls memes means. Did you see that meme where they made fun of that person?
And you feel guilty for laughing, but you secretly do.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So Joe Biden is, the presumed Democratic nominee. Obviously, it's not official yet. But anyway, so now this lady named Tara Reid has now accused Joe Biden of
Is she an actress?
Tara Reid, the actress?
No, her name is Tara. It's spelled different. That's Tara, R-E-E-D.
Okay, I was like,
this
whoa.
is Tara, R-E-A-D-E.
Okay.
And she does not look like Tara Reid. Anyway, well, Tara Reid now. Anyway, all right. So, let's see. She had like some botched surgeries or something that happened.
I don't know who she is.
She's the blonde-headed chick from American Pie.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Kind of there.
Anyway, moving on. Not important. All right. She is now accusing Joe Biden of a sexual assault that took place in 1993. Now, to be completely fair,
It's a long time.
even if this is true, I call BS on the time of this whole thing, man.
Yeah.
1993? Good God. Right.
What were you waiting on?
What were you waiting on?
It's like Kavanaugh.
Yeah, what were you waiting on? And so, but the things that I want to talk about really quick are the immense differences of all this stuff. So Brett Kavanaugh was a nominee for Supreme Court Justice. And these allegations came out, and then the whole world stopped over this because he was a dirty, horrible gang rapist. He was in a sex cult and all this stuff, right? He was guilty before proven innocent. However, now Joe Biden, who's been in government for over 30 plus years, and is now presumably the nominee for the Democratic nod to run for president of the United States, has from everything that we see right now, at least right at this moment, this woman doesn't seem deranged. You know what I mean? Do I think that this has any merit to it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I know that it's really, really old, and it's an awful convenient time for it to come out. But the problem I have is with the way people are reacting to this. Alyssa Milano, who sat her psychotic butt in the Kavanaugh hearing, started the believe all women stuff, is basically saying we need to hear Joe Biden out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But the weirdest thing is the New York Times on April 12th. Here we go. This is an actual tweet that they took down and edited pretty quick after everybody. Have you guys seen this?
I saw the Alyssa Milano one.
Okay. All right. This is the banger right here. All right. So New York Times. This is in regards to Joe Biden sexual assault in 93. No other allegation about sexual assault surfaced in the course of our reporting, nor did any former Biden staff corroborate Reid's allegation. All right, so they're saying that they found absolutely nothing. All right, let me read that one more time because, hang on, I'm not done. That's only half of it. All right, no other allegation about sexual assault surfaced in the course of our reporting, nor did any former Biden staff corroborate Reid's allegation. Here's the next part. We found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden beyond hugs, kisses, and touching that women previously said made them uncomfortable. Shut up, Siri.
Shut up, Siri.
Let me read that for you guys again in case you didn't pick that up really quick.
Wow.
No other allegation about sexual assault surfaced in the course of our reporting, nor did any former Biden staff corroborate Reid's allegation. We found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden beyond hugs, kisses, and touching that previously said made them uncomfortable, which women previously said made them uncomfortable.
Crazy.
There was nothing sexual misconduct. He just touched me and I said stop and he didn't stop.
What?
The thing that bothers me is how the hypocrisy.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can't say Kavanaugh, you can't defend one and say, oh, that's nothing though. I mean, you're literally picking which women we're going to believe and which women we're not. Either stand firm for everyone or stop.
I'm not saying that Joe Biden did this. I'm not sure that he did. I mean, this is an awful long time to bring up an allegation.
Well, and sometimes women wait a long time, but yes, it is awful convenient that it is on election year.
Yeah, the problem I have is how do you write, you found nothing of sexual assault and no one to corroborate the allegation except for...
Besides that stuff.
We found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden beyond hugs, kisses, and touching that women previously said made them uncomfortable.
Can you imagine if that was Kavanaugh's
defense? He'd be dead. They'd drag him in the streets. I mean, it's just so basically you're saying
rape is the only other
that
thing.
multiple women have said that Biden's hugs, kisses, and touching of them has made them uncomfortable.
That doesn't count.
But anytime you use,
that doesn't
the
count.
whole point is whatever you do, if you're in a position of power and you use that so no one's going to say anything and you know that's the whole point of it. That's why Melissa Milano gets women's rights because
She's a Melissa Milano.
I know.
I don't like sharing a name with her, but it makes no sense to me. It's very infuriating.
It's baffling
it's infuriating.
to me. And ironically, if you want to do conspiracy hour with Jake, ironically, around the same time that Joe Biden has kind of gone into hiding a bit, is around the same time that this stuff has come out. So I don't want Joe opening his freaking mouth about this stuff. Don't you say one
Can you imagine him
word,
on trial, though?
You old, senile man. Don't say anything. We all know you probably touched her inappropriately because you touch everybody inappropriately.
Yeah.
Do I think he necessarily means it in a sexual way? Honestly, I got to be honest with you. I think he's just that old man that just like touches people because he's old.
But where's the line? Like, does it not count?
Again, I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm talking about the intent behind it from the person.
Sure.
I'm not saying that people don't do things that are inappropriate that should be reprimanded for it. Do I think that everyone has the same intention?
It's like an abused dog. He didn't have the intention of biting you.
Well,
but how old is he? Because that would have been over 20 years ago.
He's 70-something years old.
So about in his 50s, yeah.
Listen, Jack. Fat. Listen, fat.
Anyway, the point is the hypocrisy is real.
The point is this man could be president of the United States.
Yeah.
And that's what's
Here's all I'm going to say.
They're freaking out right now.
They're
like, is he really who we picked?
How did it come to, like, everyone said, how did it come to this with Trump? Okay, well, I'm going to say, how did it come to this with Joe Biden?
Because the Democrats are the
He gets elected and he puts his hand on the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to myself.
It's like my favorite scene in what's the movie we watch at Christmas?
Vacation.
Oh,
yes, when she started, say the grace.
Grace died 30 years ago.
I pledge allegiance to the play ball. Anyway,
my favorite scene.
That's Joe Biden.
Classic.
All right, we got to get into another sponsor, but coming back, I want to talk about AOC.
And I got a fun game we can play too.
Ooh, okay. All right, here we go. If your mailbox is anything like mine, 90% of the time it's a fairly depressing place. Political flyers, utility bills, unholy amounts of coupons. But once a month, I do have a reason to be stoked. And that's because of my box of awesome from Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post sends guys only the best stuff every month, and no matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools, and outdoor gear, Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome just for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. Get $20 off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code GRAHAM at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code Graham for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com, code Graham. All right, so AOC is in the news for two reasons. One, everybody is reaching out to AOC to figure out if the Biden campaign has reached out to her at all for some whatever reason. Is she old enough to be vice president? Don't you have to be 35 still to be vice president?
We're going to change the rules.
Probably. Like it's time for this country to make women equal.
Yeah.
by letting them be vice president sooner than any male has ever been. Anyway, all right. She said no. So as of right now, no. As if she's like the figure that has to go through for these presidential candidates. Anyway, but that's not what I want to talk about. Ocasio-Cortez.
Garcio.
U.S. has not earned the right to call itself a humane society.
Wow.
That's what she said. She says AOC blames Trump for coronavirus death, particularly among illegal immigrants in New York City. These are deaths of incompetence. They are deaths of science denial. They are deaths of inequality and particularly cruel towards undocumented workers. America has not earned the right to call itself a humane society.
Wow.
She's able to say stuff like
Thoughts?
that. And yeah, I mean, go say that in Russia. Go say that in China and see what happens to you.
You know what the most generous country in the world is? America. You want to know why? Because of capitalism and because of Christianity. Because of Christianity rampant throughout America, America is the most generous country in the world when it comes to charity.
Yeah.
But my question is, what is she doing about it then, besides speaking?
Running
if you
her
were
mouth.
hands-on, like a nurse on the ground, all right, go ahead, say, I'll have a little more respect for you. But you're just talking, but you have no idea the consequences of anything.
She just appeared on RuPaul's drag queen show as a judge contestant. So how dare you say that she is not hashtag equality for everybody?
Do they got a RuPaul in Russia?
No.
RuPaul in China?
Because you're more
in
interested
Saudi
in
Arabia?
building your Instagram and your following so you can have power than you actually are in helping society.
You are a woman of color in Congress, the youngest person ever voted in Congress. Now, granted, you're terrible and you're an abomination to congresswomen everywhere, but the point is you're still that. How is America not this humane, equal society? And your push is we are unfair to illegal, undocumented migrants. Mm-hmm. Because they're not Americans, people. Illegal immigrants that come into the country are not they are not, one more time, they are not Americans. They are not equal to the same rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans have. Now, once they go through the processes and they become legal American citizens, sure. But you don't get to just throw on a doctor's coat and say you're a doctor. You got to earn it. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. But you got to earn it. You're not an American. Americans need to be taken care of first. Shut up.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you can still go to the doctor and be treated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're not just being denied.
They got better benefits than we do a lot of times.
And granted, I get that there's fear and all these other things, but you can go to the doctor and be treated.
I also,
like, they're not denying you that.
I also don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. Americans, tax-paying Americans, legal Americans should have priority. I'm sorry. This is a country. The country is a business. It would be no different than a Target employee walking into Walmart wanting the Walmart discount.
Right.
No, you don't work here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that it's like, oh, that's an overgeneralization. Is it? Is it really overgeneralizing it? Or is it putting it in context that your 2 + 2 = 5 mind can understand, AOC?
It shows her inexperience. It's like, why don't we just pay for everybody in the world's health care? People in Russia, America funds everybody because that's fair. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, she's also one of the Democrats that are pushing for aid to Iran right now.
Yeah, another hypocrisy.
What? I don't know. To me, how dare you? How dare you say that America is not a humane society?
And she's privileged.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's privileged to have that position and have the voice that she has, and then she turns her back and just berates America and talks crap on it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
annoying.
I don't care how poor you used to be, AOC. She's like, ugh, you don't know my thing. I had to work this and that and a bartender and all this stuff.
Welcome to most Americans.
Welcome to the American dream. You
Yeah.
stupid excuse for an American citizen. You make me sick because you're so
Ungrateful.
You're so ungrateful. You're so ignorant. You're so stupid, and you don't try.
And racist, I might add.
And racist, and you don't try to learn. You just further just spill out your stupid rhetoric all over the place. You came from nothing. You worked your way up. You went to college. You bartended and made decent enough money to make freaking dance videos on the top of the roof buildings. And now you're a congresswoman that can be argued the most influential Democratic congresswoman in the entire nation. Shut up.
And
You
yet this
ungrateful, horrific person.
Yeah.
Just be quiet.
And yet this country hates women and hates people of color. And yet
Here you are. Here you are.
Congress.
The Democratic presidential nominees apparently have to run through you for approval. Shut up. America is the most humane country in the world. I don't care what anyone. Go over to China, where probably most of your clothes are made from your designer handbags and everything else you wear. Walk into the sweatshops and watch them just decapitate somebody for no reason.
Right. And it's when all these actors and celebrities said, oh, we're going to leave the country if Trump gets elected.
Good.
And they're
They're
like,
all still
actually,
here.
you know, America kind of rocks. It's the best country in the world.
Everybody wants to come here, you morons. Anyway, stuff like that just drives me nuts, man. America is just a testament to the overall will of people. American experiment proves that you can have a huge issue like slavery, things like that, and you can fix it. You can fix it. There aren't slaves anymore. Women can vote now. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, are we perfect? Absolutely not. Were we ever perfect? Will we ever be perfect? No. But my God, to sit there and say that we're not a humane society, you have to be the dumbest person in the country.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely horrendous and sad.
You want to play a game?
Sure. Why not?
Lighten it up a little.
Here we go. We're going to play a round of real versus fake news.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. You ready, Graham?
I'm ready.
Tourists in India who broke the quarantine lockdown rules are forced to write, I'm sorry, 500 times in order to get out.
Fake.
That's fake. I saw it, I think. And
I didn't
they
see
were
it, so I'm not
I think they
cheating.
were all fined like money or something like that.
As far as I know, it's real.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
That's like writing
Wow.
sentences in school.
Yeah, it is. Exactly
I will
the same
not
thing.
say ASS to Miss Weaver. It's
All right, 0-0.
That's where you go.
Next one, we got
it's just what popped out.
Miss
I'm
Weaver.
sorry.
Joe Biden yesterday accidentally on video said, I'm the only candidate who can beat Ronald Reagan.
I don't know.
You have to say it's true,
True,
right?
yeah.
Because it's Biden.
It's false.
Dad-
I got it. I knew it. I should have gone.
This one is kind of just for fun. It's pretty obvious. Roman authorities are investigating Jesus for violating the stay-in-tomb order.
Okay. Wow.
That's
All
terrible.
right. Now I did see a meme. I did see a meme that, hey, I'm a Christian. This was funny. It was the tomb rolling back and Jesus walking out, and it was like, I have risen, and then next to it was a cop going, "Don't you even think about it!" Like coming out of his house.
It's funny. It's funny. Semi truck in Dallas caught on fire a couple weeks ago, hauling a giant load of toilet paper.
That's true. I saw that.
True.
Yeah,
Tragic.
that is true.
True. Police in Washington state were chasing a car going over 100 miles an hour, driving erratically. After the car crashed, the chase was over. They found a pit bull was actually driving the car.
Obviously, you have not listened to my podcast because I did that story and it is true.
Oh, there you go.
Well, way to take it from me there, Alyssa. I feel like you should have eliminated yourself, but all right.
Nope, true.
The man
You
said
lose.
he was simply trying to show his dog how to drive.
He was drunk. He was
You
intoxicated.
never know. You never know.
I wasn't driving.
You want me to drive drunk? Is that what you want?
Chip and Joanna Gaines. They're going to manufacture 1 million medical masks out of shiplap to help with the crisis.
I hope that's true. True?
True.
False.
Well, that's,
Shiplap.
I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what that is.
God.
All right. I don't know what the score is now.
Do you know
but-
how
I
many?
won.
Do you know how many dumb company names there are out there? How was I supposed to know?
I think it's a type. No, that's like a like in that.
It's like wood, like a wood
type of
tile or
something.
something, right?
Okay.
Just a big
Freaking
piece of
Ford
wood.
is making ventilators now. Who, you know?
All right,
No,
last
it'd be like
one.
a wooden man.
Yeah, just a big piece of wood right here.
They might have shirts that their employees wear.
That would
Thank
use
you.
as wood.
It's like what
that
everybody.
they would make masks out of shirts.
The whole point was shiplap. Like they're making shiplap.
Just a
masks.
big square.
Okay,
piece
all
of
right,
wood.
continue.
Last one. A liberal man treated with hydroxychloroquine. He's no longer has the virus, but he decided he still wants to die of COVID-19 to prove Trump is evil.
True.
True.
False.
Dang it.
Damn it. Well, I still won. I was one up on you.
And that's it on Real versus Fake News.
Alyssa wins.
All right, so real quick, as we're sitting here, I want to talk about two things because I see it on Fox News
Yeah,
right
I
now.
was looking at
So
it.
ICU nurse who worked at Ground Zero after 9/11 says COVID-19 cases in New York are worse. All right, so I'm not saying neither here nor there. I do know that the estimates are a lot worse than everybody said, and I do know that there seems to be a trend of a lot of TikTok videos coming out of doctors and nurses all performing TikTok videos in unison in the hospitals right now, which if it's like a war zone, you would think that you wouldn't have time to do those things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that doctors and nurses shouldn't have fun. Absolutely not. Are they the real heroes in this situation? 1,000,000% yes. All I'm saying is I don't remember any moment of any time that people during 9/11 had time to make, and obviously TikTok wasn't around back
Right.
then. You know what I'm trying to say.
Get on their MySpace.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man.
Well,
It's weird.
It's called practicing medicine, right? So they're using what they learned in school and they're trying things out to help. I saw a video the other day of a doctor who was basically saying the ventilators were making it worse because it put unnecessary pressure on the lungs, and that maybe we should stop using. What do you got?
Well, no, I'm listening, but this is like videos that they're putting out.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you got to remember that could be somewhere
Seeing all this
that's not
stuff.
having a lot of cases right now.
Well, yeah, he said that this is not what it appears to be, and that
I
the
don't know.
ventilators are not helping until a certain point when they have to have.
I don't know why I
That's
almost
all
feel like
I'm saying.
offended though by that. I don't even know why. I mean, I may not be right, but just to say that it compares to 9/11, like that almost feels offensive to me.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong on that, but just initially, like I got very defensive about it. Like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not in New York, and so I'm not a doctor. I'm not on the
I mean,
ground.
if
I
we're
know it's
talking-
very severe there. I'm not trying to downplay
If we're
it.
talking pure numbers, then sure, I'll give you that. But the narrative of it, I don't like because, I feel like you could say, hey, real numbers to real numbers, more people have died in New York of COVID-19 than 9/11. Okay, I can get with that. Sure, it's a virus. It's infected more people. Got it. But this narrative to try to make it seem like there's this war zone in the hospitals going on,
Right.
I'm not saying that some of them aren't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the videos don't lie that are starting to come out of some of these hospitals right now. And that does not point to every single hospital in New York City is like a freaking war zone and it's the end of the world apocalypse. That's all I'm trying to say.
I heard a rumor. Is it true that Disney's buying Fox? Like Fox News and them? Have y'all heard that?
Probably. They own everything.
But because someone asked me, is Disney buying them, and do you think Fox will become more liberal because of it? Which, in our opinion, Fox has already become kind of liberal, which is why I can't trust a lot of things because they're feeding into everything just like everyone else.
Yeah, you can't trust anything.
Which is very frustrating.
And I like the theory that Netflix caused Corona so they could have a huge boost in numbers. But at the same time, it's like you really need to be careful with the shows you're watching and just believing and being programmed, folks. This stuff is same with news networks. Like these people are not telling you this news to be honest with you. It's all an agenda. That's why they call it programming.
Well, getting their ratings up, whatever sells is what we're going to do. It's just infuriating. But anyway,
anyways,
so two final points before we end it up. I always like to point out when people write, because I can't read everything, but I do sometimes read some things. Two things. One, somebody that works at Verizon really doesn't like our Patriot Mobile ad read that we say that other organizations donate to like Planned Parenthood and stuff. They do. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Anyway, and then two, when I went on that tangent about how banks are, there's not supposed to be any underwriting. It's not supposed to be any of this stuff, but banks are enforcing it anyway. And it's going to be at least 30 days or so before they even get to these small businesses to do all this stuff. Well, I had a person write me that they work at a bank and, they're like basically telling me, they weren't mean, but they were at the same time trying to educate me on how diligently and how miraculous this is that they're turning it around and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, if your bank isn't doing it because you have a huge bank that's just unable to do all the numbers and stuff, then I invite you to come to ours and we'll take care of you.
That's kind of nice.
So I go to their bank. They're not accepting applications at this time.
Wrong one.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that it kind of proved my point there. It'd be like, well, there's another one. And so anyway, the whole system is crazy, man.
Crazy times.
Apparently, people are supposed to be getting their first round of stimulus checks this week, I guess. Which now they're a whole month behind bills.
I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel right now. Man. I think it's a few more weeks and things will start to
I agree there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I have no doubt about that. Thankfully, we're in a position where financially we are able to
hold on,
weather this storm. Yeah. But there's other people, man, that they, at the end of every month, they got like $20 to their name. Mm-hmm. And those are the people that I'm talking about. You get them a check 4 or 5 weeks after they've had like $20 to their name. What good is that? Mm-hmm. You got a small business that's just starting and they got 4 or 5 employees and they've got just enough money to pay their employees and the bills to keep the lights on. And it's already been over a month. It's going to take at least another month before they get to the application, then probably another month before you get the money.
Right.
That doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not picking on the banks. I am saying that the banks are doing more than the federal government, who's giving these funds out, said that they're supposed to be doing. But, that's neither here nor there. I'm not a bank. You're right. I don't understand the complexities of it, but I do understand small business. And I do understand that if you're going to grant these businesses the opportunity to keep their employees on, we talked about this last episode, then you can't do it 3 months down the road. It's either you give it to them now or you just don't give it to them and you make them have to deal with the reality of they got to fire their employees or they got to close their business down. It's as simple as that. Anyway, all right. That's all we have for this episode. Let's see. My book is still available during the middle of the end of the world. You can go to America316.com to get my new book, America 316. It also needs to be stated that with all this craziness that's going on, you got governors telling people they can't leave their homes, you can't go buy food. They're fixing to start, they're already fining people for going to church and all this stuff. things are getting crazy, man. You and your family need to make sure that you are protected with your Second Amendment rights. You need to make sure that you are ready at all times to defend your family and your freedom. So make sure to check out our good friends over at Red Arrow Weapons, redarrowweapons.com for 100% made in America rifles. It's vitally important, guys. We're realizing in this the things that really matter, and it's your family, your food, your water, your guns, those kind of things. So redarrowweapons.com. Make sure to check them out. Jake, where can they find you?
Instagram at producer_Jake.
Alyssa?
Instagram and YouTube at Alyssa Allen, and my podcast, Hey America, on Tuesdays.
Hey, and of course, I'm Graham Allen. You know that because you're listening to my show. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Dear America podcast. Tell one friend, give us 5 stars, leave us a rating. It helps, or leave a review. It helps more than you guys know. That's all we have for this episode of the Dear America podcast, and we'll see you all again next time.
Bye.